or he fled? Ambassador Idro, are you around? Bring your body here. Come. I wanted to join issues with you and make a join. Yeah. At a personal level, I like somebody who holds a different view or different views from mine and expresses it. That's how people develop. I feel about the poverty here. We have different tangents. You are going to the west where the sun dies and going to the east where the sun rises. Because we have talked about this. But let me simplify it. In 1969, 1970, was Acholi land the most poverty stricken in Uganda? Just ask yourself and answer that question. In 1970 and 1980, after the fall of Idi Amin, despite the ravages of Idi Amin, was actually at the bottom of the wealth creation in this country. I would want you to go and answer that question. You can look at the statistics since you're doing research. How come Acholi is now up to the second to none level of poverty? How come? Again, let me offer you the view which I wanted to go on because we are going to meet and talk about these things. Acholi land is not the first place in Uganda where there has been war. There was the Great Zulu War. There were the skirmishes in Uganda following the 1966 crisis. Then there was the Luwero Triangle War. Then there was the war in one side of the country, from Koboko to Balisa. And then the one of Karamoja, the self-inflicted, the one of Karamoja. What is the difference between the armed conflict in Acholi land in all these places? All these other conflicts took one day, as it were. The conflict here went on for eternity. That's the first difference. The world was 5 years. Here was 20 years. Teso and Lango, about 3 years, 4. Come again?
About 2.5 years.
2.5 years. Let's give the benefit of doubt. 3 years, or even 5. Here, 20 years. 3 waves of armed conflict. 4, when you include the Carmelon cattle rustling. So what was the difference between Luwero and the conflict in Teso, Lango, Acholi, those 3 major ones? The difference was this. The conflict in Luwero brought a lot of suffering. That one, there is common ground with conflicts elsewhere, a lot of suffering. But the conflict in Luwero did not touch the economic backbone of the Luwero Triangle. It did not. What was the economic backbone of the Luwero Triangle? Coffee, banana. After 5 years, people went from wherever they fled, pruned coffee trees, removed unnecessary suckers from banana. 6 months, they were back to business. and then the government went in and supported them. You may not be able to see evidence of that conflict in Luero today. How about Teso? How about Lango? How about here? Teso, Lango, Acholi, just like in West Nile. And I've always labored, even yesterday, I don't know if you had come. The colonialists left us with no economy. Cotton and tobacco, no economy. The economy of these three places, Teso, Lango, Acholi, and I'm confining it to these places because that's where Armageddon cattle rustling took place. If they had crossed the Nile, I would be including West Nile. The backbone of the economy was livestock, not cotton. And I think people are not, I believe you not got this right. The economy now, to confine it to Acholi land, which is our concern when we talk about revival, the revival movement, which in Luo is Roco. The Acholi economy was agro-pastoralist economy. They only tended to animals in equal measure with crop production. My then county, Agago, in the 1985 animal census, had 53,000 head of cattle, 53,000. 3 years later, the conflict ended, and 2 years later there was another census, 1990. And the animal livestock and the livestock population in Agago County was 400. In 5 years, I don't know whether they call it going up or coming down, from 53,000 to 400. 400. By any account, that is a catastrophe by any account, not a tragedy. You see, for us, we have a difference between, like the English you say tragedy. Tragedy, you can say the death of one person of the family, that is a tragedy of the home. If everybody in the home dies, that is catastrophe, not tragedy anymore. So when the conflict broke the backbone of our economy, and then the other things that they saw for 20 years during the war, 20 years, and then they went back to their homes. I would be lying if I said government did not intervene, did not come up with programs, because it did. But I want you to study. Nusaf, I don't know what Nusaf it was at the time people went back in 2006. How much of that Nusaf money actually crossed Karuma and reached here? How much of it went into vehicles for you and me to ride with our elbows out? We need to do the nitty-gritty and understand when we speak about helping this place to get out of the abyss. We must speak hard facts. If we bury our heads under our armpit, we will not. And then when the money reached here, how many of them ended up with you and me? I'm just using you and me as, you know what I'm saying. How many of them actually went to that woman in Powell, that household in Powell, that needed it most? How much of it went there? All this time, people are suffering. They deceive themselves that peace had come back. That was negative peace. I'm a student of conflict resolution. Then, for some strange reason, there are things I don't understand. I mean, it's like we do not have normal human beings doing some of these things. And I must say it here, since you brought the issue. I understood you to be blaming the victim. And I'm now speaking for the victim. You are the devil's advocate, I'm now the advocate for the victim. This country goes to one bank to get money for northern Uganda that was devastated by conflict. And the money goes out to go and falls down because Lakwana was there for 3 days. You know this. This is called Nusaf. You break down for these people how much of the Nusaf money that comes from World Bank actually reaches Acholi, reaches Mango, Teso, Westland. Tell them. But how we say that? And I like the gentleman who had issues with his own teeth. I don't mind what your dental setup is, but what you spoke was the truth and the way forward. To ask my people to stop drinking, to stop laziness, I don't need the government to do that. But now to introduce perennial cash crop, to bring other developments, I will be deceiving myself if I say, as for Uganda, I can bring development here without the government of Uganda. My duty is to ensure that the government of Uganda works hand in hand with the people, works with Uganda, works with the people of this area to make the amends we need. And that's why we're working with you. And that's why you invited Uganda because of our mission, because of the vision we have, because of what we stand for, because we're doing things differently. You came forward and said, look, there is something in you. Can we do business together? And if I'm the only person in Uganda who will do business with you, you can count on me. I will do business with the government of Uganda to ensure that what is ours reaches here. There is no contradiction whatsoever. We are making you do your work. And when you do your work, we are the beneficiaries. Because this is our government. We don't even have to vote for somebody. When the president takes oath, he does not say, I will protect the lives and properties of those who voted for me. He says the people of the country. So even those days when this area was not voting for the president, they were entitled to the development which we are now saying we can do it together. And we are going to be watchdogs. That's what Bagisu is going to do. We are going to plan together. We are going to say, no, let's share ideas. And that's why I like you coming out. There are people who are saying, why is he speaking like this? No, for me, I thank you that you spoke like that. Because then we are holding a conversation. If you spoke behind my back, how would they know? You would then be meandering because we have not found various points. But because you spoke of this, to me you're genuine. Because it has provoked me doing this, it has evoked my passion to speak about what the problem in this area is. The problem is because of this devastation, because the backbone of our economy was destroyed. We have the base of the population pyramid in Acholi. We never saw that economy of Acholi. And that's what I'm saying here. And I know you followed my rule. That economy, that rich agro-pastoralist economy, the bulk of the population now, the very base of the population pyramid, never witnessed. When we speak about it, it's like fairy tale. We're dealing with a society that is so devastated. This drinking we see, which I talk about, which you talked about also, It is because the ordinary Acholi person sees nothing in the future. So there is nothing to live for, and then there is nothing to die for. You see, if you have something of value, you will find and say, oh, my dead body, you will not go. There's nothing to defend, there's nothing to protect. And then you say, what is the meaning of life? What is the worth of life? There is no tunnel. You can see from here up to where the sky meets the earth. The eyes deceive us that the sky there is coming down to meet the earth. But you see no light whatsoever. So there is nothing to live for. The future holds no hope. That is the community we are dealing with. We quarrel with them, but we know deep down that we need to help them more than quarrel with them. So we use both the stick and carrots. We lash at them with our tongues. We cajole them and tell them there is hope in the future. And that's why I spoke at great length today that coffee offers that hope. Not only coffee, but for me, a pint of coffee, you can choose cashew nut, the other one the PS was talking about, avocado, and so on, so forth. So I thought you should listen also to my view and listen to yours. Because I am very clear in my mind that what we started on, that the office of the Prime Minister, as the tradition of the Orthodox line ministry, the one where my brother here was being here these 3 days, is heading this docket. Operation Wealth Creation, where you belong to, and Roco, which is an idea whose time has come. If we act in concert, if we speak one language, we can make enormous impact. We can make a huge difference. We cannot shorten the time frame for recovering this place because the three of us are working together. That's why you're coming here. I celebrated your coming here. I was happy that way. You know why?